I don't like that this is where we're at, to where there's politics involved, but there is. And if we ignore that and act like that's not a part of this situation, then we will never get to the bottom of this. And this will happen again and again and again. And guess what? It is. Now, I don't know if there's any what do you call it? Connection here. But I can tell you that there's been, since this incident, there's been at least 4 or 5 other incidents with toxic chemical spills, and most of them have been on railways, and majority of them have been in conservative states. Now, I don't know if this is some sort of a political distraction or what's going on. So I'm just going to point out the obvious and let you guys make your own conclusions on that. But what I can tell you is that DeWine, I am kind of wondering, and let me put my tinfoil conspiracy hat on there, and I don't know anything. So I'm reading the tea leaves right now, and what I see here is that I see that originally they came in and offered $25,000 for the cleanup. And screw everybody else, they're on their own. Forget about the ecological disaster. Where are the tree huggers? Where are the tree huggers saying, hey, look, what about Mother Earth? Where are they? Or do they only care about police stations being built in where there's trees in the forest, like what was happening over there in Washington State? But where are the tree huggers now? Where are the earth lovers, the ones that think that nobody else cares about the earth? Where are they at? Where's Antifa? Where's BLM? Because they care so much. Where are they? They should be there, but they're not. Okay, so before I go on my rant here, what I want to do is I want to go back to Steve Bannon's War Room and listen to a little bit more what Michael Leahy has to say about this. And it gets they shed a little bit of light on the parts of this that nobody really wants the light shed on. So let's help him shine some light on this situation. Listen to what Michael Leahy has to say.
Buttigieg has not been there. Nobody from the EPA's at a high level has been there. Governor DeWine showed up for 45 minutes on February 8th, helicoptered in, helicoptered out, not been there since.
Mr. DeWine, Mr. Governor DeWine, these are your people. These are the people that you pledged to look out for, to keep healthy and happy, and why are you not there? Why is it that you are not there? Now, this video was clipped, a day or two ago, right? But why are you not there? I don't know if he's made another trip over there by now or not, but look, he should have been there. These are your people. You pledged to look out for them. You pledged to look out for their safety and their family's safety. And you're nowhere to be found. Why? Why is that, Mr. Leahy? Mr. Governor Leahy? They had a town hall over there in Palestine a couple of days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. And, wouldn't you know it, Norfolk Southern Railroad didn't show up. I can't imagine why. So you guys create the mess, and then you don't show up to explain yourself. Listen to what the War Room had to say about that.
I want to bring in Michael Patrick Leahy. The folks in East Palestine, Ohio, last night, they were supposed to have, when we left the show last night, it was supposed to be a town hall there, Michael Patrick Leahy. We were following it. Everybody, the town showed up, the officials showed up, the great folks from East Palestine showed up. Norfolk Southern didn't show up. Why was that? What's your reporting say on that, Michael Patrick Leahy?
Our story just published now, Norfolk Southern refuses to show up at meeting of East Palestine, Ohio residents. Last night, just before the meeting, Norfolk Southern issued a statement that said, we're worried about our personal safety, therefore we're not going to show up. Not exactly what you would call a transparent discussion of their responsibilities.
Well, is that because of? But by the way, is that because of the air? Is it because of the water? Right, or they think that there are folks there that are getting worked up, a little angry about this. I mean, is it unsafe because of the air and water, because of what they?
Yeah, Steve, I'm pretty sure it's probably one of those. It could be any of them, really. Yeah, it's dangerous over there, so maybe they don't want to be over there right now. I could see that. I get that. You know what I mean? But they caused it, so they should be there. At least show up in hazmat suits, something, anything. Or is that they don't want to take the heat? If nobody speaks to nobody says anything stupid that makes them more liable than what they really are, isn't that what it is? Norfolk Southern Railway, isn't that what it is? Are you guys too big to bless the little people of Palestine with your presence and explain to them what happened and why you made the decisions that you made? Or maybe it's more than that. Maybe this involves more about money than what they're letting on. And if they were to show up there, nothing that they said would make sense because you can't backpedal that quickly and that far. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe this has to do with money. I think it does. I'm going to get into that a little bit down the road a little bit. But I think this has a lot to do with money. And when you guys hear about who's behind this railway, it's going to clear a lot more things up for you. But before I get into that, I'm going to let you listen to another clip from the War Room with Steve Bannon, because they're hitting all the right questions, I think, and they seem to believe that that Mr. Governor DeWine maybe has some more explaining to do when it comes to why he made the decision that he made as far as burning all of those toxic chemicals and putting all that into the air. See, he's responsible for the controlled release of that of the toxic materials, and he was also responsible for the controlled burn of those toxic chemicals that sent all of those toxic chemicals up into our skies, or up into Palestine's skies, to be more precise, because they're dealing with the blunt of this. I don't even know if we're going to feel any of it over here in California, but they're dealing with it. Why? Why would you do that? There wasn't a better way. There may have been a reason why you did that, but let's listen to Steve Bannon and Mr. Leahy and figure out what their opinion is on this. Take a listen to this.
We can't get anybody to take ownership of this. The New York Times said today that it was actually the company kind of, made the decision, or the company kind of did this controlled release. This is also in two places. What was the decision on the controlled release to let the fluid out? And what's the math to back that up? Because I'm telling you right now, I don't think they're telling the truth. I don't think there was hard data that said if you don't get it out now, and if temperatures drop, it's going to blow up. I think they wanted to get it off the track so they could open up and have trains going as soon as possible. And I understand a company would want to do that, but it shouldn't be the company's. It's not the company's responsibility, according to Jeffrey Clark. Is that correct, Michael Patrick Leahy? It should be the on-scene commander from EPA, sir?
Yeah, and we cannot get the governor of Ohio, who said it was the collective we who decided to do the controlled burn on February 6th. The New York Times article today, kind of following your lead, Steve, the New York Times basically said, yeah, it was really the Norfolk Southern executives who kind of forced this decision.
Can somebody explain to me why the governor of Ohio is taking any advice from Norfolk Railway? Can somebody explain that to me? Why would you take advice from the people who caused this disaster in the first place? Unless, I don't know, were you paid off? Did you get a check shoved underneath your door? Did they pad your pockets? Now, I don't know that. I'm not making any accusations. I'm just asking the question, is that what happened? Because that would make a hell of a lot more sense than what's happening right now. Because this doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you wait for the EPA or some other agency to come over here and tell you how to deal with this tragic accident? Why would you go to the people who, the railway, are they supposed to be professionals in hazardous material spills? I don't think so. So why would you listen to them? So Mr. DeWine, I think you have some explaining to do. You could be wearing a jumpsuit very soon, because I don't think the people of Ohio are going to be okay with just letting this go underneath the carpet. Because you can shove it under the carpet all you want, but the truth will come out, and you will be held responsible. And if you are responsible for this, if you did take advice from Norfolk Railroad, then you're responsible. And everything that's happened from that point forward is on your shoulders. And you hold the blame for it. See, I don't know if all of you guys realize this, but Joe Biden turned down Ohio's request for disaster assistance after toxic derailment. What they said was it wasn't a normal type of national disaster like a tornado or a hurricane or something like that, so it doesn't fall underneath the federal government's purview. Well, I disagree with that. And it come to find out that Governor DeWine has not even issued a state of emergency over there. He has not declared an emergency. Why? Why has he not declared an emergency over there? I want to know that. Because isn't that the first step in getting federal dollars, is declaring an emergency? Why are you not declaring an emergency? Because that's exactly what this is. This is an emergency. Is it because your pockets are full now and there's no need to? FEMA's like, hey, look, this is not what we deal with. This is not the kind of thing we deal with. And you know what? As much as I don't like to hear it, they're probably right. But the federal government should be getting in there, but they're never going to get involved unless you declare a state of emergency. So when is that going to happen? When are you going to start looking out for your people? That's what I want to know. But listen to this next clip. If the last clip didn't piss you off, this one will. Take a listen.
The first thing they put up, we're putting up 25,000. We're going to help them out. Get them a Dunkin' Donut, get them a glaze, right? We're going to get them a glaze and a hot cup of coffee. 25,000. Now it's up to $1 million. I think they put $1 million, Leahy. This is a joke.
Steve,
sick
the
joke.
other reason
Yes, sir.
why residents of East Palestine, Ohio, are frustrated and upset is this. They're being told that they need to have their water tested, and they're paying taxes for this. The people coming by to do the testing of their water apparently are not employees of the Ohio Department of Environment or the US EPA. They're contractors from Norfolk Southern, and they're being required to sign a waiver that they won't sue Norfolk Southern. And if they don't sign that, the testing won't be done. And they're asking, why are we paying tax dollars to Ohio and the federal government?
Yeah. First off, that's the oldest scam. No one in East Palestine, Ohio should be signing anything.
I agree with that 110%. 150%. I agree with that so much. Do not sign a damn thing, because all they're doing is looking out for themselves. And why is Norfolk Railway, why are they going around doing water testing? Why are they doing that? Shouldn't it be their local government that's going around doing that? Isn't that why they pay their tax dollars? So that they can make sure that they have clean water? And for them to say, yeah, we're not going to test your water if you don't sign this document saying that you're not going to hold us liable. Number one, I don't think that would ever hold up in a court of law. I think that's a Hail Mary right there. But for them to send these goons around there and saying, hey, look, we're going to test your water that we're responsible for contaminating. We'll test it if you don't sue us. Oh, hell no. You get yourself a lawyer right now. Right now. Every single one of you folks over there, man, I hope you got a lot of attorneys over there. And normally I don't like attorneys, but you need one. And you need a good one. And you need him now. Because this is ridiculous. And look, I will tell you exactly why. I'll take that back. I am going to let Michael Patrick Leahy kind of touch on why this is so important and why it's so important for the railway to brush this underneath the carpet. Take a listen to this.
ESG money management firm BlackRock owns 6.8% of Norfolk Southern. We've asked them this morning to comment and tell us if the management of Norfolk Southern has been conducting itself in a transparent way that's consistent with their ESG standards. We haven't heard anything back from BlackRock yet.
Yeah, he just touched on it. He's just touched on it. And BlackRock is a money managing firm. And they are not the only ones. See, here's what you need to understand. Norfolk Southern Railway, their largest shareholders is Vanguard Group, BlackRock, and State Street. Any of those names ring a bell to you? Yes, they are the three largest money managers in the United States, probably in the world. And they hold so much political power. And if you're not familiar with the real estate market, BlackRock is the one that went around buying up all the real estate for $10,000 to $20,000 over asking price. They are the reason that the price of real estate went as high as it did. And it goes deeper than that. Because you want to know why they're barely touching this. They're mentioning it on the mainstream media, but they're not pointing any fingers. And the reason that they're not pointing any fingers and grilling everybody is because these are the mainstream media that is also has Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street as shareholders for their companies. It's also CNN, Fox News, ABC, NBC, and CBS. Every single one of those media companies are being funded in part by Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street. So you want to know why you're not hearing about it? That's why. See, the people who have brought the most attention to this situation over there in Ohio is alternative media, like myself. That is why the federal government is starting to step in right now. I just heard a video on OAN about how they are the federal government is now sending over pop-up tents or something like that over there to start testing the people of Palestine. It's a little bit late for that, don't you think? The damage is already done. What are you doing? You should have been there the day afterwards, but you weren't. But yeah, there's a lot of money and power in this situation right here. That's why I say it's very possible that Governor DeWine got a little paycheck under his door for shoving this under the rug. It's very possible. I'm not saying that that's what happened. Okay, I don't want to get any knocks on the door from, a process server serving me with papers to go to court, because I just don't know. What I'm saying, it is possible, and that's what it looks like. And Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street have huge political power. Huge political power. And it doesn't do them it doesn't do them a good service by allowing this thing to get out of control. So they want to squash this as quickly as possible. And I can't say that I blame him, because this is bad. This is real bad. And Buttigieg came out, the transportation secretary for the Biden administration, came out, and he barely said 2 words about it. But the one thing that he did make clear is that this was Trump's fault. Now, it's amazing to me that everything that bad happens, everything that happens within this administration that turns out bad, Trump always had something to do with it. Isn't that amazing? When the balloons came, when the China balloon came over the United States and Biden got caught red-handed allowing it to happen, what's the first thing they did? Oh, what happened underneath Trump? No. Pete Buttigieg, whatever the hell his name is, he has the regulatory authority to do anything that he wants. So anything that happened underneath Donald Trump has nothing to do with this administration right now. Absolutely nothing. And Pete is nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Oh, I think he sent a couple guys down there recently, but not interested. Not interested. He would rather worry about bridges that are too low because of racism. That's more important to him. Finding racism everywhere. Well, I'm sure there are some black people that live in Palestine. I'm sure there are. So from that perspective, Buttigieg, aren't you a little bit racist for not going over there and looking after these black people? Because they're hurting too. It's disgusting. This whole damn thing is disgusting. And I think that BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard need to be put in check. See, the problem is that our federal government is using them. See, this is the whole WEF situation. This is where the World Economic Forum, where they want everybody to not own anything and be happy. And so BlackRock went around buying up all this real estate, because what they want everybody to do, instead of owning their houses, they want you to rent the houses, and they want you to rent it from them. They are being, if not directly, then indirectly funded through the federal government. It's possible that it's just through government pensions, but the federal government, they're working with the federal government in bringing forward this WEF plan to not own anything. So when they're going around buying up all these properties for $10,000, $20,000 over asking price and bringing up the property values, that's exactly what they want to happen. They don't want you to own these houses, right? And this right here, this whole situation with Norfolk, this is a black eye for them. And it makes them look bad. It exposes them for the tyrants that they are. And and for CNN, Fox News, NBC, all the mainstream media not to cover this, it makes sense, because did they cover any of the Pfizer problems? No, they didn't, because they're all funded by the same people. They are not going to go after the people who are funding them. Whether it's advertising or whether it's their shareholders, they won't do it. So you're not going to hear much about this on the mainstream media, and they're probably going to do their best to move past this as quickly as possible, but I'm not going to. And I hope that none of my fellow content creators allow this to happen either. I don't think this was a false flag. I think this was negligence. And I think that everything that happened beyond that was CYA. Cover your ass. Because Democrats will never admit when they're wrong. Never admit when they're wrong. And they talk about how every day how Trump is he's for big business, but everything the Democrats do is for big business. They talk out of both sides of their mouth. And we have to realize that. And anybody who's a Democrat that thinks that this administration gives a crap about you, you're wrong. You think you're on the winning team? You're on the team that is trying to wrangle up humanity into a new era of slavery. And you think that you're picking your team, and you're not. What you're doing is you're destroying humanity. You are the problem. And the sooner you figure that out, the better off humanity will be. See, I am not one of those kind of people that think that there are good politicians and bad politicians. I think they're all pretty much bad, right? But some are better than others. And you can't just listen to what they say. Democrats are really good at running their mouth, but if you sit back, turn the volume down, and watch their actions, you see something completely different. Now, I hope DeWine steps up to the plate and starts helping the citizens of Ohio, because they need it and they deserve it. And they didn't deserve any of this. But what's going to probably have to happen is the people of Ohio are going to have to stand up and be loud. I know you are. I see you on social media. I see that you guys are crying out for help. And I wish there was more that I could do. If I wasn't tied down here in California, with my business, I would be over there bringing you guys water, food, whatever it is I could bring you. If there was, I don't know if there's a way to donate. I'm going to look into that. I'm going to see if there's a way that we can donate, because they need help over there. And I'm going to do everything I can within my power. But with that said, I hope you guys got something out of this. I know this was an extremely long video. It's the longest video I've ever done. But I hope you guys get something out of this, because it's extremely important. And I believe that there will be criminal charges coming very soon. So get your guys an attorney. Don't drink the water. Sterilize your house. And wear gloves. I don't know. I just wouldn't be there right now. I just wouldn't be there right now. But I feel for you guys. You guys are in my hearts. You will be in my prayers. And everybody who watches this, I hope you pray for them too, because they need it. They need all the help that they can get. We are just barely scratching the surface of what could potentially be happening. And they're going to need a lot of support from the rest of us Americans and people throughout the world. So I need everybody to step up, and I need everybody to do what they can, because these people need us. They are our brothers and sisters. They are our family. And we need to look out for them, because if the same thing happened to you, you would be looking for some help too. But in the meantime, let's keep this story on the top. Let's keep it on the top. We don't want this story to go away. The story needs to stay out there, and we need to be loud, and we need to make sure that people are listening. You guys are doing a great job so far. I love you guys. I hope you got something out of the video. If you like the video, give me a like, subscribe. If you have something you want to say, if there's new information that I missed, leave it down in the comments. Love you all. Take it easy. Bye-bye.